Okay, hello fellow riblets. It's me, Tom from Target Prime Rib. I'm here actually last minute with my friend Paul here. He is actually gracious enough to come on. Unfortunately, the guest I had, Lian, wasn't able to make it. She had a doctor's appointment, and unfortunately, I didn't get the message until like about 5 minutes ago. And I mean, she sent it 6 hours ago, but I didn't get the message until 5 minutes. So things like that happen. So hopefully she'll be able to reschedule and we can go from there. So how you doing, Paul?
I'm doing absolutely wonderful. In the world of Dr. Richard.
Okay, you're breaking up just a little bit, Paul. You're a little shaky.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's
I was trying to drink coffee and do this at the same
okay.
time.
So we got a few people here. So this isn't actually an interview. Paul being interviewed in a few weeks, I think. So we're going to keep that going because I don't want to have to change that as well. So today's just a visit, and any of you guys can visit, just like Paul is. It's going to be open panel today. So if anybody else wants to come on, you're allowed to come on. Don't be afraid. Paul won't bite. And unless you want him to, then that's totally up to you. But yeah. So far we have Sandy Blythe, my carnivore mom. We have Jemmet here, which we all know Juju. And we have Lynn 22 Cute Cat. And then of course we have John Together Strong. Hey John, how you doing?
Hey, John.
And of course we know we have Paul. I don't see you in the chats, but we know you're here because you're here. So if anybody else wants to join, they can. So what's going on with you, Paul?
Well, everybody knows I'm a type 2 diabetic that responds more like a type 1 than a type 2.
Right.
I'm arranging right now I've got labs coming up.
Okay.
So I've contacted my endocrinologist and told them some additional labs that I want so I can answer the question of what am I as far as the world of diabetes goes. I just want to know.
Are you type 1 or type 2?
Yeah. Well, I was diagnosed type 2, but that was 35 years ago. And I need a new C-peptide. See how much insulin I'm making. I've always been on the low end the last 3-4 years, but I haven't had it checked in a while. With a lot of labs, you have to take a lot of things in context at the same time. Very few labs stand on their own to a conclusion. And there's an enzyme test I need. If the enzyme is present, that means my body's attacked itself and has destroyed or it has destroyed my beta cells. That's the LADA.
Okay.
So just want to, I read something that it's the first time I really ever heard it verbalized. And of course it's true. Whatever is good for a type 1 diabetic is good for any diabetic.
All right.
Pretty much, yeah. And so I've been kind of searching the internet, searching YouTube, and looking for, a better solution to my type 1. Am I doing the right insulin? Is my insulin schedule right? What can I do to maximize the benefits of whatever I'm doing? And the god of type 1 diabetes, who passed away about a year ago almost, was Dr. Richard Bernstein.
Yeah. I forget how to pronounce his name, but I know it starts with a B, right?
Yeah. Bernstein. Bernstein. Stein. I finally figured out how to spell it because I've typed it about 50 times into my search engine.
Right. Now it's in your muscle memory, so to speak.
It's sort of.
Yeah, and he was old. He was like in his 90s, right, when he died?
He died at 90. He was going on 91.
Okay.
And he he had gotten his 75th. I guess after I don't know when they do it in type 1 diabetes, but Joslin hands out awards for if you make it 50 years. Well, he got his 75-year award. He was just 2 years away from getting an 80-year award for.
Wow. So
And
John Together Strong is asking you a question, asking if you're Latta.
I don't know yet.
Okay, so that's what he's doing the test for, John, to determine that, basically.
The C-peptide combined with the enzyme test, and that's not. If the enzyme test comes up negative, it's not conclusive. They might run 2 more tests.
Right.
I'm just giving you the rough nail sketch because that's as far as I understand
Well,
it.
it's as far as you can go. So yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you can only inform of what you know, right?
Pretty much. It's but I'm doing good. Just
that's good.
I have been super strict carnivore since August of 25. Super strict. I made it through Halloween. I made it through Thanksgiving. I made it through Christmas. I made it through Valentine's Day. I made it through my grandchildren and stuff like that.
Well, that's good. That's good. And your grandkids are doing okay?
So, oh God, I'm about to bust. I can't wait no more. Some people know I'm like on edge. It's just, the worst thing to go. I hate to be a parent of a child who went to the Olympics. I'd fall apart. My grandson is going to the not national. He's going to the world title championship for Irish dance in his age.
Oh yeah, remember you saying that he was
Yeah. And that'll be it's like 4 weeks from today. 4 weeks from today he'll be on stage dancing.
Oh God.
For the world title.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, how old is he again?
And he thinks here's it.
How old is he?
He's 11.
Oh, okay.
And he's a year ahead of his. He has this romantic idea in his mind. I guess when you're 11, you're allowed to do this. He thinks one day he is going to be. You know how a ballerina would aspire to dance in the New York Ballet.
Yeah.
Well, he aspires to dance in Ireland for whatever their national Irish dance thing is. Okay.
Okay.
And so he's been there to Ireland. He has seen the dancer. He went backstage, met the principal, interviewed with him, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, God.
And he's ahead of where that guy, this guy's only like 23, 24 years old, something like that. And these dancers wear out by the time they're 30. They usually physically can't do it anymore. And so he's, and then him and his sister, who's just 2 years younger than him, in July, they'll be at the national USA Nationals.
Oh, okay.
They both qualified for that. And so they were right in your neighborhood a week ago, that Sunday of the snowstorm.
Okay.
They got stranded in North Jersey. They were coming back from Rhode Island to Delaware. And my daughter had to pull off. They took a room at the Marriott, and they had to pack it in overnight. And they went there because the judges were world judges. They were from other countries.
Oh, God.
And he wanted some experience of, you dance for the judge. You know.
Oh, yeah.
They're the ones that give you a score, and the more you know about the judge, the better you can do. And so it's pretty exciting, and we'll see what happens. I can't tell you a thing about Irish dance. To me, all 20 people up on stage look identical. Like, I couldn't tell you one technicality difference, you know. And my daughter's around it every day, and she's just beginning to understand what a proper movement is into an improper movement. So
Yeah. Well.
yeah, it's but they're all lean, mean fighting machines, and my daughter
That's good.
actually buys their carbohydrates. Okay, so at Easter and Halloween, when they come back from trick or treat with their bags of candy, my daughter this year offered them $15 a pound. Put your candy up there on the scale and you can sell it, all or nothing. There's no partial.
No.
And so then that money goes into their bank account, and they can't spend it the way they want to. She has rules on their spending, and in just another week we'll be at St. Patrick's Day, so they'll be dancing at restaurants and bars and all that kind of stuff. And for that, my daughter hires a police officer.
Mm.
An off-duty police officer comes in full uniform with the gun, in case anybody gets a little too drunk or, heaven forbid, might look at my granddaughter the wrong way.
Oh God.
So it's kind of exciting times for the family, and they're actually driving from Delaware to Chicago for this thing.
Okay.
So
Well, that's good.
but I really delved into Bernstein's. He has the university channel. This is all obviously recorded before he died, and this guy was brutally honest. He didn't become a medical doctor till he was 44, and he became a medical doctor. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was going to become a particle physicist, going to just explore atoms and all that kind of stuff, and he went on to he wouldn't even him and Kiltz have a lot in common. They were poor students in high school.
Mm.
And they found out he had some. I think he had. He also had thyroid issue.
Okay.
Couldn't remember anything. And as soon as they, he was like a B student, and as soon as they solved that problem, he got all A's.
Wow.
And he highly regarded by a lot of people, but put down by a lot of people. You gotta just do the math, and he died so 45 years ago. He was treating patients with low carb diets.
Yeah, that's 45 years ago. That's
Yeah.
Do
the math.
Even back then, there are people that probably were aware.
Yeah.
Unlike today. So I just want to take a little sidestep for a second and just welcome people in that have come in. So we have. I just want to go back and make sure that I didn't miss anybody in the beginning. So I believe I mentioned John Together Strong being here, but Carnivore Farm Mom Cass is here, and she says hello, and she actually gave a really good compliment to you before about your grandson. Yeah, congratulations! I'll put up back on stage. Congratulations! You deserve to be a proud grandpa. So that's pretty nice. And then, and Linda Flanagan is here. And
Linda's always here.
And we all love Grandma Crochet Corner. Barb is here. And so is Jiffy.
Hello.
Jiffy 885, Strange Animal. Yes, you are a strange animal, Jiffy, but that's beside the point. So It was supposed to be Lian, grandma, but she ended up having to cancel. She had a doctor's appointment, and she actually did send me a message 6 hours ago, an email. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to read the email until I got home and I was working. So, that happens sometimes. So, um, yeah. So another announcement I want to make too is he's probably not watching right now, but just in case he is, I want to shout out to my nephew, Joey McNally. His birthday is today. He just turned 19. So happy birthday, Joe. And Uncle Tom loves you and all that fun stuff. So I hope you have a good birthday and hope everything is really good for you. All right. We have this thing, actually, my nephew, niece, and myself have this thing where like for the three of us, we reverse our ages. So whatever we just turn, it's reversed. So like when I turn 54, for them, I'm 45. And so my nephew now is 91 rather than being 19. It's just a little joke we had when they were like little kids. So thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Sandy.
So when you get to be 59, you're going to be 95.
Right. But of course, if you're 90, then you're 9.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in some ways, it's pretty good. Obviously, if you turn 99, then no matter what you do, yeah, it's like a paradox. Hello, Tammy. How you doing? So we're going to get a few people here. Right now, we're at 16, according to of people are viewing. Obviously, since we're not doing an interview, I didn't put this on Instagram. So this is just going to be on YouTube. But again, unless you're afraid of me and Paul, feel free to come on. All right, anybody is welcome. The link is up in the chats. Paul found it right away, so it's not that hard. Okay, you guys have done it before.
I can find it. Anybody can find it. I mean,
there's a few people here that there's only one other person that's here that has actually been on before. So I don't know how shy anybody is or anything like that. But, if you want to conquer your shyness.
I'd love to meet anybody.
Yeah. And you don't know who's lurking.
Matter of fact, just in the last couple of days,
you're not even in the chats. And you were lurking. So you never know who's behind the scenes.
Oh yeah, that's right too. You're right. You're exactly right.
Yeah. You never knew. I had that happen to me one time where Mitch actually said hello because we were talking. I guess we were talking about him, and I guess he was listening, and he came on. That's how I learned. You never assume that Mitch isn't there. You're always better off just thinking he's there.
Yeah. In the last couple of days, I caught some bacon runner. I don't know if they were shorts or just short video or a short, and right. I hadn't really watched much of her stuff, and the little cooking things with different sauces that she makes. It was very, very good. I liked it. Gave me some ideas, and I don't get bored with eating though. I can eat ground beef 7 days a week.
Oh yeah, eating is the most fun part of this whole journey. It's just what you're eating, but still, like if you gave me a steak, I would, I might be full and I might be like, okay, well, can I have this like in 10 minutes? But I would not say no. Mitch came on Juliet's live today. Okay, Sandy. Yeah, Mitch is sort of doing some quick appearances now. But I wouldn't really take too much.
I caught him on the live someplace today.
What was that?
I saw him on a live today someplace. I can't remember where I
Yeah,
was.
Sandy just said he was on live with Juliet. So
Juliet, yes.
yeah,
That's
Juliet
where it was. Yep.
Stevens, which is
They
cool,
were trying to send him a cat. They were trying to send him a cat, and he was trying to reject the cat being sent to his house.
Yeah, I don't think he wants a cat. I mean, he even
And
said one time that he doesn't want pets. He's happy without them. Oh, we just got Tanya, my carnivore sister, is here. So I got my carnivore mom and my carnivore sister is here. Kitchen Witch
wow.
is Tanya.
Kitchen Witch.
What
So
was
you've
that?
adopted her as your carnivore sister?
We
You have
adopted each
adopted her as
other.
your
Well, you know
carnivore
what?
sister?
Like, well, it just kind of made sense because Sandy is my carnivore mom, and Sandy became my carnivore mom, and then she was also Tanya's carnivore mom. And we're like, well, if she's my carnivore mom and she's your carnivore mom, wouldn't that make her you and me brother and sister? And she's like, yeah. So that's how that came about. It was more like, well, obviously, if she's our mom, then we had to be brother and sister, right? So one of these days, I wouldn't mind going to Tanya's restaurant and checking out because she has she works. I don't know if she works or owns a restaurant, but she works. So Casey's trying to get on. Unfortunately, unless it's going to be connected now, can we add her to the stage?
Hi.
Hi. I see your name, but I don't see you.
Somehow
There you are.
There she is.
There she is.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hi. How are you doing?
Thank you.
Let me remove the
I
comments.
don't know how my signal is.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, you're a little broken up. I mean, I see you.
I can
Do you
just
hear us?
nod.
What was that?
I can hear you. I said I can be your supportive wingman. I'll just nod.
Yeah. be like night at the Roxbury's, like.
Mm-hmm.
And Aaron is here. Hello, Aaron. So what's going on with you, Cass?
Carnivore related. I'm on day 7 without cottage cheese or yogurt. So
Okay.
I'm, other than darn near 0 carbs right now, which I have not done for 7 days since I first started carnivore last summer. So, one, I feel amazing because I got through keto flu, and I am taking electrolytes for the first time, which I thought I was too cool for, which was a huge mistake. I think back now to last summer, how much my body was screaming for potassium and magnesium, and I just kept chugging water along with my salty meat. And I cannot believe now what I put myself through. So I'm having, now that I'm paying attention to the ratio of sodium to potassium, it's a completely different ballgame.
So you're
that's
feeling
where I'm
much
at with
better than
that.
you did before?
Much better. So yeah, so I'm doing because I like meat salty. So what I've come, this
Oh
is my
God,
own
yeah, of course.
understanding currently, which has nothing to do with anything that's real for anybody else.
Right.
But I like meat salty, and I like cheese. So I'm not somebody that's going to eat plain meat, at least right now, where that person might be able to not supplement potassium because the ratio of sodium to potassium in fresh meat is pretty good. But that's
Right.
not how I eat. And so I've been focusing the last 3 days on trying to keep potassium and sodium pretty much 1-to-1, Sodium usually is a little bit higher. And then keeping magnesium around 4 or 5 milligrams. And, I mean 500, like 500 or 600. So
Okay.
it's just a game changer. I just am. And the other thing is I did not realize how much I was under eating. I fluctuate, every day is different, but I am amazed just how much my body is responding to energy wise between having the carbs be like under 5 a day
Right.
from, cheese or heavy whipping cream, getting the electrolytes, and eating more when I want. I don't want more every day, but there's some days where literally I will double what I eat. So I'm just trying to be more flexible, intuitive with it, and I am thrilled. So I
That's
just,
excellent.
I'm not really posting anything right now. I don't have the signal to even upload long videos on my channel, but I'm starting to get excited enough where I want to make noise about my new discovery that
Yeah.
everybody else already
I
knew
know,
of
if I remember
potassium and
correctly,
sodium.
a few days ago, maybe close to a week, I noticed that you were trying to do lives, but they were like, super short, like, if I remember correctly. So, is that something that you're looking to
Well,
do,
I
like
mean,
more lives?
right, you're right. I did attempt one live in my kitchen, and it was very, it looked like I had done a bunch of cutting. I had the video over and over again. So it was kind of edgy. It was kind of cool. And, I'd like start
I
at one
guess.
side of the kitchen, and then a second later I'd skip in on the other side. But I'm waiting for better internet. I want to be able to go outside and do
That's probably your
stuff
better
outside.
bet.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many gigs
Yeah.
of RAM do you have on your computer? Because I had to up my RAM in order to to not be so choppy, where it's like a little clearer. Like, do you know how many
I
RAMs
am
your
on my
computer has?
phone. I don't have, I have a laptop that's used for office, but it's slow. Everything I do is on my phone. And
Oh,
it's an Apple, I think it's an Apple 16.
that should
It's
be
top
fine.
end.
Yeah,
It's
it should
just
be.
we live in a canyon.
That's true. That's true. You're kind of like in the middle of, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So,
where do you live?
So
anybody in the chat has any
I'm
questions
waiting.
for any of us, feel free, put QQQ in front of it and ask the questions. I'm assuming Cass can answer questions
Yes,
too.
insult us
So,
with your.
what was that, Cass?
I can tell you what not to do. I can tell you what not to do.
Oh,
I know lots
think
about
most of
that.
us can tell you either what not to do or what to do. But don't be afraid to ask the questions. Paul was able to answer the one question, so I think we can all do it. So, okay. Sandy is telling you, Paul, that she lives in Oregon. So, I guess he's talking about you. You live in
Cool.
Oregon?
Yeah, I live in Oregon.
I'm in
Yeah, I live in
Lancaster,
Oregon.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I thought you're.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
Now,
Not
I have a
been
quick question to ask
Pennsylvania.
you, Paul. How do you pronounce? Is it Lancaster?
Yeah.
Because I used to have a roommate years ago that came from Lancaster, and they said it's pronounced Lancaster. So I'm a little confused.
Let me just explain, okay? I have very poor verbal skills. No, I'm being honest, okay?
Okay.
All right. On the SAT exam, I scored 440 on the verbal exam out of 800, okay?
Mm-hmm.
On the math, I scored 790, okay?
Okay.
So I became an engineer. Sometimes I can't even look up a word in the dictionary because I can't get close enough, okay? Sometimes I can't Google a word because I can't figure out how to spell it, okay?
Right.
I can't even come close.
Right.
My mother and father both had a 6th grade education. That was it. Okay. So they were in their late teens, working in their mid-teens, working for the family, you know, helping raise the family. They both came from large families. And my father did not pronounce a lot of words properly, and I was at my dad's side since age 7
Okay.
on whatever project we were doing, okay? And you know, but so I cannot pronounce a lot of things properly, and quite frankly, I really don't give a damn. So
Well, I mean, I wasn't trying to insult
and
you. I was just asking a question.
no, I'm
Based
not
on
insulted at all. I just,
okay.
you know, I have poor verbal skills, and all through school I loved to read, but I was told I was a very poor reader, and I put in words, I take out words, and it's just, you know, I admire anybody who's got great verbal communication skills. I do not.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I guess it's no
so
different than tomato, or or Target or Target. You know, it's
Potato.
yeah, potato.
or you know, take a very common product and name of cities, Avon or Avon.
Yeah, exactly.
I lived near Avon, Connecticut, and I live near Avon, New York. Okay,
Yeah,
pronounced 2 different ways, same
in New
word.
Jersey too. There's an Avon in New Jersey.
Yeah, right. And it could be Avon, New Jersey.
Right.
And when you're in New York State, they have the state university system. So a lot of people from Long Island and Brooklyn and New York City come out of the city, go up to Albany, you know, Utica, Syracuse, Rochester, Buffalo, all the great university towns, and everybody plays the game. How do you say Albany? How do you pronounce the state capital? You know, and some people call it soda, and some people call it pop. And every day at the dining hall, it just goes on and on and on for 4 weeks until people get tired of it.
Yeah,
And
for some reason, my grandfather used to put an R at the end of soda. He called it soda. Like, what the heck is soda? It's like there's not even an R at the end of when you spell it. Like, where are you getting soda from?
You know, English language is the toughest language there is.
Yeah, it is.
We got more verb tenses than any other language. And and it's kind of weird because I have a niece who has a photographic memory and speaks 7 languages. And you know,
Wow.
and she gets paid very well for speaking 7 languages.
Oh yeah, you could definitely get yeah, definitely.
She when she graduated from college,
Yeah.
Yeah, she was working for the government of Costa Rica at one time as a translator.
Oh.
And she met a guy on the beach, and he invited her to California and interviewed her and hired her. And there she is today in California. And you know, she inherited her photographic memory from my brother. He had photographic memory.
Okay.
He was also very brilliant. He was a great thinker, but he had a memory. Just he could read a page from a medical book, and a year later he could recite it to you. It just man was brilliant, and I was one of 6 children, and the 2 oldest have already passed on. They were both heavy addicted smokers, and they both died of lung cancer.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I miss them both. I wouldn't mind. My sister made a great apple pie. God knows to die for. Not that I need apple pie, but
Yeah.
my goal is never eat a carb again. If I can't handle it, if I can't ever have it again, well, I can't ever have it again. And
How long has it been, Paul, since you've had a carb?
strictly speaking, I'd say sometime last August. I got super strict, and I'm very and the worst carb for me is plain Greek yogurt. Just a quarter cup will spike the hell out of my blood sugar. And it's only like 5 grams of carbs.
High fat or low fat?
Just the high fat kind. And because I thought, well, there's something I could have for a little change of pace, and nothing else spikes my blood sugar like that. And why? I don't know why. I'm not a. You'd have to bring on Bart K and ask him that or something. It's just, we're all human beings, and we're all the same. It's just we're all under the bell curve. Because you may be way out on the left-hand tail, I may be way out on the right-hand tail. Somebody else may be dead center up towards the top, dead the bottom. There's a lot of space under that bell curve to land. And but I have dropped my insulin, my base insulin. I've dropped that. I'm down to 20 units. I was on 50. And I'm playing around with insulins right now. I'm Dr. Richard Bernstein, his book. If you're a diabetic and you're not reading his book, you need to read it.
Yeah, missing the mark, basically.
It's just this guy I listened to. He's got 48 videos. I say they average about 10 or 11 minutes each. I've listened to most of them by now. I tell you what, the guy had gonads. Okay. He really he didn't care. He called it the way he saw it. And when the ADA, redid the going, oh, you got an A1C of 6. Well, they define it as a certain number for average blood sugar. Well, he defines it somewhat higher than that, okay? Or lower. And he totally disagrees with them when they changed it. And you can Google the 2 different formulas for going from an A1C to a blood sugar, and they cite him in how he differs and why he differs, and he doesn't mind calling out organizations and doctors who, in his opinion, are not doing the right thing. And it's you got to give them and Thomas, I want to say this publicly. Okay. The one thing I really, really, really been impressed with you is how you were so influenced and so motivated by the former Sarah Hallberg. Because early in my journey 5 years ago, I discovered Sarah Hallberg, and I just thought her talks were personally motivating. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything get me revved up, it was Sarah Hallberg, okay?
Yeah, well, I mean, she plants a seed, basically. It's
oh yeah,
and all you had to do is hear that information, and it was like mind bending if you think about it. Like who would have thunked that fats like don't even cause your sugars to go up, and carbs cause them to go up. Like it doesn't take a brainiac to figure out that carnivore is really the best diet when it comes to that. Less carbs you have, the better it is for the diabetes. Proteins are middle of the road, but that's a whole different story.
This is something we need to start teaching in kindergarten.
Yeah, but if you talk to vegans, though.
Oh yeah, no, I know. But lucky for me, I'm not a vegan, so I wasn't really influenced by
Right.
that.
I know. I'm just saying that for somebody that is, not clear, or they haven't experienced the relief from insulin, and you go and you watch a bunch of bright-eyed people that have only been doing a vegan diet for a few years, so they've
Right.
gotten the benefits that you can get initially without the long-term effects.
Oh yeah,
It can be very confusing about whether low fat or high fat is the way to go for diabetes.
that's true. That's true.
Um,
And also too, with a vegan too, you don't think about this, but they might not be thinking of the fat. They just hear the word fat, and they might not be thinking of animal fat. They might be thinking like, well, I could do like canola oil. That's fat. It's not the right fat, it's bad fat, but they might not be thinking of like bad fat. They might be thinking of like all this other stuff, like vegetable oils and stuff like that. So it's wrong.
Horrible.
It's misunderstood information.
Coconut oil. I mean, coconut oil. If you got, I mean, I always use butter, like when my kids want popcorn, because they're not
Right,
carnivore,
right.
obviously. But,
Yeah.
um,
But I could,
but I
like some
always,
of them might
I
be thinking
coat
like,
their
oh,
popcorn in
margarine's
butter.
fine. But
Mm-mm. Let's play a
everybody
game.
knows me.
No.
because I remember my mom was vegan for a while, because she didn't want to kill, she didn't like the idea of killing animals and stuff like that. Eventually, she became keto, and there's a little trick that I did to get her not to feel so bad. But yeah, she basically, I mean, when she ate though, she didn't eat great foods, because she just ate stuff that wasn't animal based. So she still had
Oreos.
yeah, she still had the Oreos. She still had, things that were questionable, potato chips, and everything. So yeah, you could be vegan, but you're still not eating the foods that are, there's
Yeah,
that
and
loophole.
I'm not talking about those people. I mean, obviously, obviously, people that go into the plant-based world to get relief from diabetes are probably not eating those foods. So, I mean, there
Right,
is a distinction between
right.
vegans that do moral reason and the people that will call it a plant-based diet. So that's probably what I should say is people that are doing a
No, I get what you're
low-fat
saying.
plant-based
Yeah,
diet that are
yeah. And I have
convincing
nothing
because
against
they're
being
still
I have nothing
glowing.
against being a vegan. If you can do the right path and do it the right way, I think it's still just as good,
Right.
For me, carnivore
My
helps.
problem with all that, yeah. My problem with the deal about all that is that we're animals too.
Mhm.
So as shouldn't this animal eat what makes this animal healthy? I mean, I don't go around telling other animals that they should eat a certain way. Why are us human animals different? That bothers me. That's my ploy with all of that.
Yeah. I mean,
Doesn't make sense to me.
that's a good question. So I just want to give a shout out. I don't know if he's still here or not, but Kerry Mann was just here. So in the chats, so he just gifted 5 Target Rib memberships. So I don't know who got the memberships, but he just gifted them to 5 different people. So Carrie, if you're here, come
Hey,
on and just say hello if you
hi,
want to.
Carrie.
Yeah, don't be shy.
Yeah. Paul said he doesn't bite anymore. So
Those accusations are all false, okay? And I can prove it. No
Yes.
one who ever wrestled me in high school ever came up with a finger missing.
Yeah,
Not
do not
one.
believe what Bob tells you. It's a whole lie.
Well, and on the subject of plant eating and veganism, Carrie just put out a video about his daughter, who,
Right.
again, as I think she
Yeah.
said when she was 11, she watched the video on, the
Yeah.
manipulative to an 11-year-old mind, and her health suffered
Yeah.
greatly.
Yeah.
If
I mean,
Carrie wasn't
I
her
saw
dad,
that.
she probably would still. Yeah, she'd probably
yeah,
still be.
you're absolutely right.
Sick.
If her dad wasn't doing what he did, then So Carrie he says, hello, Thomas, you are doing great things and you are an inspiration. I have to run to a call, but wanted to pop in quick. Thank you, Carrie. And I will try to see you later on today on the Zoom call or tomorrow. All right. All right. Cool, Carrie. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
So it's pretty cool. It doesn't say who got the gift memberships though. Usually it lists. Let me see if it lists here. Maybe it'll list it eventually, like, because I don't think you can choose who gets the memberships. I think it's like YouTube automatically does it for you. So it could be anybody. So so this is pretty cool. All right. And then so we got a bunch of people said hi to Carrie, Sandy, Lynn, Cute Cat, and some lady carnivore farm mom. I have no idea who that is. So that was a joke.
Farm mom, huh?
Yeah.
He's making fun of me because I change my name every 2
How
weeks.
do you not know who that is? So again, anybody wants to come on here? Come on here. I saw somebody named Belt Loop. And he's saying, he or she is saying a lot of comments. I mean, with the name Belt Loop, you can't know if it's a male or female. But one of the comments was basically about hopefully it says glad to finally catch your live and hopefully be seen. So sup at Target Prime Rip. So that tells me that this person wants to be seen on one of the panels at the very least. And so if you'd like to come on here, Cass and Paul would love to say hello to you too. Or if you have any questions, again, people in the chats, Cass, we all have brains, so we can definitely answer questions. Unless it's about an iguana. That's Rick that does that. You can't answer any questions about iguanas. At least I don't think. Can you answer an iguana question? Yeah.
No, I can't. I mean, I can.
I can tell you that they're
about
green, have long tails. That's basically all I can tell you.
Right.
If he really wants to see iguanas, he needs to go to
Ecuador.
Ecuador.
Here.
Can you eat iguanas?
Friend of mine went to Ecuador. He eats them.
He eats them. No, I don't know if he has to do something special in
them.
order to eat them, but yeah, he eats them all the time. He actually did a video on it one time. Crochet Grant, I thank you for this, Barbara. She puts down, I would, Thomas, but I am eating and just got out of the shower. So thank you for letting us know. Yeah, but you could. Paul just got cut out. Sorry, Paul. I'm sure he'll come back, or well, I don't know. It might be it might be a internet issue. But yeah, Grandma, if you want to have baby can come on if you want. We can talk about baby's election for mayor. So yeah. So anybody else wants to come on? So how many kids do you have, if you don't mind me asking? I know you have a few, right?
I have
you're
3.
Carnivore farm mom.
I have 3.
You 3? Okay.
Right. Cool. So I have 6-year-old twins, and then I have a 4-year-old boy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I had lots of farm babies for 15 years on our farm, but we sold that due to my husband's progressive heart condition, and we cashed in and bought the place that we're on now. But we have not gotten any more animals. We brought 3 geese with us, and our border collie and our cockatiel, and that's it. So
Okay.
it's strange because I'm used to farming, I'm used to ranching. One of the highlights of my life was birthing a Jersey cow and getting her on her her suckling for the first time, and getting fresh milk. I mean, I've had some highlights, but more than anything, I have had disasters and difficulties and learning curves that are so painful that I feel like I deserve a break from, from it all. So I'm taking an official break to just focus on my husband, whose health is very up and down.
Okay.
Every other time he goes into the doctor, he's told that he's got 3 months to live. So
Oh
I
my
just
God.
trying to be in the moment and be in the day. But at the same time, it's affected my focus, and I'm not as probably relaxed and easygoing as most 36-year-olds are. My focus is very different. So, but that's what led me to carnivore. That's what got me excited about carnivore is desperation in wanting to help him to get better. And I've pushed it a lot of times, and he's not open to it, which is painful. As anybody who has gotten relief from carnivore or keto will say, it's almost more painful than not getting relief yourself because you're watching the person suffer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so.
How else can I depress you today?
Well, I understand your pain.
When I
I
leave,
really
I'll go
do,
and
because
cry later on.
when I was your age, my son was diagnosed with a deadly cancer. He was 12, okay? It was his birthday,
but
just about
carnivore brings me peace. It helps me to have relief. It helps me to be calm. When the cycle that I got in, given that Paul was talking about yogurt, I got in this cycle of having yogurt with a few blueberries and some cottage cheese. And then, yogurt, full fat Greek yogurt's very similar to full fat ice cream. so
Right.
so
Well,
I would
yeah, for a while they
mentally
were
make
doing like,
that hop.
yeah,
Yeah, and so I've just been doing. I got into this groove after a few months of strict carnivore, carb cycling. It would be 3 or 4 days strict carnivore, and then justifying kind of going keto, going past keto, and a low carb and high carb, and
right.
then getting it all out of my system again. And that's cruddy. It's bodybuilders do it, they enjoy it. A lot of people carb cycle, but I find it very stressful. It's not something I want to do all the time. But when I believe right now I am in ketogenic state, zero carbs for 7 days. I feel very calm, very therapeutically calm, which for
Good.
depression or manic depression, anxiety. Even though I'm not a doctor, for me personally, I don't take anything, but I find that my mood is much more stable. Hi, Juliet.
Yeah, Juliet. Well, Paul, I think you were gone when Juliet came on, so that's probably why she. But she's saying hi, Thomas and Cass, and then Thomas just finishing up a paying job. So that's cool, Juliet. It's always good when you get paid at your job. Yeah. I mean, that's always my goal. Every time I have a job, I always wish to get paid at that job, you know. So
Well, I think that she preferences that because so many of us online have essentially a
well, she
second
might have
job.
it might be a coaching job that she has, and she's preferencing it because it has something to do with what we do, you know.
Well, how much time do you spend on
Oh,
your
she meant to
YouTube
add Paul,
channel
but
and
and not me
supporting
twice. Okay.
others? I mean, where's the official line of when your YouTube channel becomes your job? Is it when you get monetized? Is it when you're officially eventually sick of it, I don't want to do anymore, but you know you need to upload anyways and you need to keep going. I mean,
Well,
at what
I'm
point
guessing that if you
does it
really want to
become
be
a job?
monetized well, I guess the more you do, the better you do. You know, it's like it's basically a numbers game, you know, like the more hours you work, the more you're going to get paid, right? So, it might be in that kind of
Yes,
realm.
but I have seen a couple of bizarre cases where I wasn't following the people, like they just popped up in my feed, and literally their first or second video, long form video, they got like 8,000 views or 40,000 views.
Right.
So there is that, but then there's people like Dustin Keto Simple, who he's had his channel for seven years. It's just now starting to pop, where it went from 1 million to 1.8 million within a week and a half. So that's a good example of persistence and being consistent,
Yeah. I mean, I'm more nowhere
which
near
I
that.
respect, but
Yeah. So she
you'll get
says, "Oh,
there.
YouTube, not my job. I have videos uploaded through August. My focus is coaching and personal training." Yeah, she's talking about the coaching probably. Um, yeah, because she just I don't know if she fully graduated, but she graduated on the Kiltz coaching like I did, and then I
Mhm.
think she also graduated for Dr. Barry's class. So,
Yeah.
so she actually has her own like website and
Yeah.
everything. So she actually does coaching courses for people that are like first starting out to be carnivore. So if you need a coach, she's one that would be really good, you know. And then
You know, I was on one. I was listening to one of her lives one time, and I asked a question,
okay,
and it was one of the best answers I ever got to that question. Okay, so I got quite a bit of confidence in her. I think long run, I think she'll do well. I
yeah.
think.
Well, I think Juliet has sort of experience with coaching. Like it's not just because she learned on the courses. I think she has some past experience too. So that actually probably helps her because there's a few people that have had past experiences. And I think Juliet's one of them. So Sandy is asking, not really asking, she's more like saying, like, everybody shut up because Paul was talking about his son. So,
Oh,
yeah,
well, I was just commenting because she was talking about her husband health issues, and I I know what it's like. Okay, I was like, my son was 12, and I was like, it was 1997, and doctor told him most likely next year this time you'll be dead. Okay, you're not going to make it. One chance in 10 at best. And
okay.
I can remember waking up every morning and going, "Oh my God, is this real? Yeah, it's real. Okay, here we go, another day." And fortunately, we were very blessed. Every doctor we met was great, and they caught the cancer well in time. And we cut off his leg, and that was the end of it, pretty much. Had a few small scares, and he's been a butcher and a baker and a executive chef and restaurant manager, and now he's making legs. And he was probably, I don't want to say, he lost 100 pounds last year on broccoli and chicken. And he logged 1,000 miles in his running log, training for a half marathon. And at age 40, he ran the half marathon in Philadelphia. And he has a sponsor. He has a sponsor who provided him his running foot. Looks like a spoon bent backwards. And they they pay him to go several places around the country and race. Typically 5Ks, but this was his first half marathon. He finished in less than just under 2 hours. Shocked the hell out of a lot of people.
Wow.
And he testified to the city of Philadelphia. That's where he lives. And he goes, "Thank you for loving me." Because the news channel did a little blurb on him. He was the only, I think he was the only one-legged kid, only one-legged person in the race. And people came out and say, "Hey, I saw you on TV. Can I run with you?" And they'd run with him in the race, talk to him, and he's just an outpouring of love. He was so impressed, and so I don't know what his status is right now, but he's applied to the city of New York for the New York Marathon.
Okay.
For 2026 on a charity clause. So we'll see how that goes. And because my daughter, who's 2 years older than him, this goes way back. God, I don't know. In the very early 2000s, she ran the Boston Marathon on charity.
Okay.
She raised over $15,000 for a kid who had cancer. And anyhow, but the people he worked with were shocked. They were really surprised.
That's pretty cool.
And,
yeah, I agree, Sandy.
Yeah,
Sandy's saying, "What a beautiful
That's
story."
outrageous.
And just
That's outrageous
I mean-
to run a marathon and lose 100 pounds in a year.
Yeah,
With
and just
one
to
foot.
re-verify, he was 12 years old
Yeah.
when he was told this, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I was when I lost my toes. I was about. Well, I was probably about 50. I'm 53 now, and I lost them about 3 years ago, three and a half years ago. And that was hard to take at 50. I can just only imagine, I can't even imagine. No, that's wrong. I can't even imagine what I'd be thinking if I was 12 years old and was told something so serious.
His at school, and I don't know what class it was, a group of, I think, when you're in like the 6th and 7th grade, you kind of move, the whole group of students moves from class to class. There's not a lot of change in your class. So all the boys took a piece of clothesline and tied their ankle up to the back of their thigh. So they only had one leg.
Sorry, people. Sorry.
So they had to hop around. They had to hop around on one. They had to hop around on one leg, just like him. And so, what a show of support. And then there was this girl at church. She'd been in a wheelchair all her life. He was 12. She was about 13, 14. And they just made a connection, Obviously both disabled and to some degree. And he, and I saw other people pull away from him. Why would I want to get to know you when you are probably going to die soon? And
Right.
and the most amazing thing, he gave back. He's always given back. So I came home from work one day. He was about 14 years old. He just gotten a new leg. We called it the 95 because it restored him to 95% of his ability. And he says, "Dad, I got the address, I got the phone number, I know where I'm going, take me there." So he gets in the car, and my daughter got in the car, and we went down to this guy's house. It was his parents' house, and he was a United States Navy officer who had just lost both legs below the knee. And my son and daughter were in high school, and they both had this woman, his mother, as a teacher in history. And they looked up his address. They knew he was in town from something she said in class. And so he said, I'm going to go see him. And so we knock on the door, and this teacher goes, what are you doing here? What are you here for? Here to see your son. Get him out here now. And so he comes out in a wheelchair, 2 stubs sticking out. And my son climbed up on this table. It was a heavy-duty folding table. He climbed up on it and balanced on his artificial leg. Jumps off. Lands on his artificial leg. Only, okay? Looks at the guy and says, that's what you got to look forward to. Don't forget it. Don't give up. Bye. He left. 2 years later, that guy found my son. My boy was a bag boy at the grocery store. And he went up there and found him and said, hey, thank you. But my son's done that to a lot of people. He's gone seen other kids face the same thing he faced. And we sort of had that. Yeah, he met a nurse who had an amputated leg. And this nurse told him the story how he was a young nurse, was an amputee, and didn't tell anybody, and worked in the hospital, was dating other nurses. And so the nurses had a little bowl session, the female nurses. They were arguing over whether he was an amputee or not. And so this one nurse says, well, I've been to bed with him. I know. He is not an amputee. Well, he was in the background to her back. She couldn't see him, that he was in the room. So he went over, reached up, pushed the button, unhooked his leg, threw it on the coffee table, and left.
Yeah. So we got a few people in the chats, a few more people. We all three, I think we know that Juliet is here. Because we talked about her a little bit, but we also got Amy Perrin is here, Brisket Boomers, and I think you and Amy had a conversation the other day, didn't you? In the chats or something like that, if I remember correctly, or something like on Bob's channel. Am I correct?
Yeah, and I've seen her now on. I went to type 1 diabetes carnivore on Facebook. I've been peeking in there, and when I've seen some of her stuff on YouTube, and somehow I wound up also seeing some stuff from Bacon Runner, and I've been taking a deep dive into anything type 1 diabetes on YouTube in the last 7 days, 8 days, and I've learned a lot. And a lot of inspiration, and there's we're all, if we're not struggling exactly at this moment, we might be very soon or down the road somewhere, or we've had struggles and we got more to come. Life don't get any easier when you get older. Okay, I'm 70. I still got struggles.
Well, of course.
Whether, and life goes on, There's bills to be paid, unexpected bills that pop up, and I don't like going to the doctor because I'm always worried I'm going to hear more bad news.
Yeah.
And I do not expect bad news very much anymore. I don't really take it well. Just, I'm in that carnivore attitude. I'm in that carnivore zone. I'm going to be healthy,
Yeah. So we also got Tim Silva here. He used to, I don't know if he still uses this marker, but Tim from Walker to Walking. He was actually on my channel one time. I met him in the SVG membership, and then we have Mason here.
Oh, hey, Mason.
Mason. And Mason's asking where Lian is. She had a doctor's appointment, but while Paul and Cassie were, it's one of the beauties of doing lives. You can actually you could actually be there but not be there for 2 seconds. And she rescheduled for April 4th. So she's going to be on April 4th. Emails are wonderful, aren't they? And then we got Lizzie is here. Hey Lizzie, and we got Lexus Jones. One of my earlier, actually she might have been my second or third interview, Lexi. So again, if anybody wants to come on and join in, you're more than welcome. I don't know that much about Cass, but I definitely know Paul will not bite you. He signed a restraining order on that. And I don't know if Cass will bite people, but that's so hey everybody, any questions, ask them, and I don't know why. Okay, we just had somebody buy 5 memberships for people, and usually you'll get like who's getting the memberships, right? And it's not saying anything, so I have no idea who got memberships. So it's kind of weird, but unless YouTube's doing something new where it's like they'll just email that person and that's it, which is weird though.
Curious.
Mhm.
Is that the first time you've had?
No, when I actually
Is that the
did
first
the
time that you've
interview
had
on
Carrie on the
January
show?
1st with Jen Mann, Barb bought some memberships, and so did Jerry, Carnivore Jerry, bought some memberships. So I've had a few people buy the memberships and everything.
Okay.
So
Okay.
So is
And
somebody having
they came up then?
what was that?
Is
I'm
somebody
saying
having
to both of you, actually.
I said they
but
came up then.
yeah,
Go
it showed
ahead.
right
Yeah,
away.
they normally show up in the chat, but I don't know. Did I hear that Kiltz was having some kind of a meetup in Albany, New York in May?
Yeah, I don't know about when, but yeah, there's a meetup in May, but I'm not sure the exact date.
Because I would make that drive if I knew when it was. Yeah, I'll have to check the
I mean, if
the
everything
low
gets
card
settled,
calendar.
right now any meetups is not really in my wheelhouse. And with the situation with my roommate, he's gone. Like we all know, he's gone. He's now in assisted living. So, with that being said, I need a new roommate, and until I can get that new roommate, I can't even think about spending money on like I do have a few more hours, but with my disability and the hours I have, it's not enough for me to do any trips. So until that, saving up for anything. And I'm supposed to go to the Hack Your Health in November, but I don't know how that's going to work out. And
We'll just
Helen,
cross our
hello,
fingers.
Helen. So, Grandma just told us who it is. You know what? It might be mentioned on the YouTube itself, but not on the stream, not on the StreamYard. So she said that Stan Robertson, Papa Carnivore, Vimus Crochet, Chronically Carnivore, and Family Life Home all got memberships from Carrie. And I know 2 of them in this category. And everybody's welcome. I'm just saying I only know of two people, which is obviously Papa Carnivore, and I know who Family Life is. She's somebody from, her name's Amber, Frank and Amber. It's 2 people. And they actually, I met them on SPG membership as well. So, which I'd love to get an interview with Amber sometime. So yeah, because I think I think the memberships will, if you've been on my channel before, I think they'll actually give you a membership. I think you don't have to be in the chat in order to get the membership. I think they'll send you like an email. So Papa's probably getting an email saying that he's a member now.
Hmm.
So.
What was the ultimate push for you, Thomas, to start your channel? Because there's a
Oh
lot of
God.
people that follow the chats and follow the carnivore community, but it's a whole nother thing to actually start a channel. So what was it for you that made you decide that
I don't
you
know.
were going to take it to that?
I started off just doing a journal. And I pretty much wanted to tell my story. Yeah, I pretty much like just wanted to tell, just I wanted to put out there that I'm doing this and kind of like tell my family without telling my family, if that makes any sense. Sort of like kind of like,
Mhm.
and I didn't think my family would be watching, but I'm like, you know what, if they are, they are type thing. And one day I just decided, I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to post this on YouTube. What will happen? So that's basically how it started out. And then more and more people start watching. And eventually, Aaron came up with the concept of riblets, and
Riblets?
yeah, that's what anybody that's subscribed to my channel, that's what they're called, riblets.
Oh, a riblet.
And
Okay.
what was that? Like you're a riblet if
I
you're
said, oh, a
subscribed.
riblet.
Yeah,
A riblet. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I am. Riblet. Yeah,
yeah.
riblet.
Really?
And
Really?
yeah, not ribbit, riblet.
I know.
Riblet. Riblet.
You know,
Riblet. What is a
We're
riblet?
not
Is that
frogs.
like is
I can't
riblet
remember
is
the.
like a scrap of meat? What's a riblet? I like it
Oh,
though.
really quickly.
Makes me think of bacon or like
Yeah. Well, I mean, Target Prime
riblet.
Rib came
Riblet.
from, I don't know if anybody knows the story of Target Prime Rib, but Target Prime Rib came from, Target Prime was actually a book I started when I was in high school that I never actually finished. I had some people in my family close to me that sort of told me that I was crazy for doing this book because it's a science fiction book. And I kind of took it to heart and stopped writing it. Now I am going to be working on it again. My confidence is getting back, and eventually I will go back to it. And then coincidentally, the Christmas before I started carnivore, fully carnivore, like doing the community and everything, I had prime rib for Christmas. So I just put the two together and Target Prime Rib is born. So, so a lot of things happened, and one day I decided I'm going to, I like to do lives. And then the interviews started happening. And a few people said that I'm pretty good at doing interviews because I listen. And, and I have pretty good guests. And I do. I have wonderful guests. Carrie Mann, Adam Lacey, Dave Mack being just a few, just to name a few, Paul's going to be on eventually. I'm sure that you'll come on eventually too when you're ready, Cass. And I had Crochet Grandma on, just so many people. I think I'm up to about 60 people at this point. So
Make sure you keep track of them.
well,
You
I
don't
have
know where
yeah.
this is going to. You don't know where this is going to go, and you might regret if you don't track it.
Yeah, no, I do. I think Jen was I think when I had Jen, she was like the 46th, 47th interview. And then and supposedly I'm hoping it stays on. She said she wants to do it, so I just have to get a date. But Emma is going to be on my channel eventually. So just keep your fingers crossed on that. It'll be like a hat trick. I'll have Carrie, Jen, and Emma all on my channel. Emma Man.
Oh, is Emma the daughter?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be
So
great.
that's going to be pretty cool, And April 22nd, I'll have Dr. Kiltz as a guest. So
What's the date on that?
April 22nd.
Oh, okay. 11 days after me then. Okay, good. There's nothing like a family that goes low carb or carnivore together.
Yeah.
And one of the cookbooks I really love is I like the George Stella cookbooks. And thumbnail sketch of George Stella, he was a chef in the
Okay.
late 1900s, and his whole family was fat. Okay? 1990, they were all fat. 2 fat teenage sons and a fat wife and a fat chef.
Oh God.
And he went carnivore, or he went keto, and he took his whole family keto, and they lost over 400 pounds altogether in 1 year. Okay?
Yeah.
And in his cookbooks, he has a before and after picture, family photo, before and after. And now, 25 years later, he's put out a 2024 or 2025 cookbook. He's still at it, still eating keto, still healthy, blah, 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 And his cheesecake is almost indistinguishable from a regular cheesecake. It's so good.
That's good. So,
And great story.
oh no, it is. Did we lose? I mean, actually, I see her in the bottom still, but Amy Perrin, she said that she still wants to be on. Just couldn't do it because she got a cold, and then she was in a car wreck. Yeah, no, I do remember that, Amy. I'd love to have you on. I could email you if you want, Amy, and tell you what some dates are because I do have Wednesdays open now. So I can give you a Wednesday date because you're here right now. So obviously Wednesday shouldn't be a problem if today is an indication. And maybe that'll be easier for you, Of course, I don't. When she couldn't come on, it was on a Tuesday, so I don't know. But no, I could definitely email you, Amy. I should have your email still. So Cassie's here twice. There we go. I just removed this Cassie from. Let me see if I can. I'm going to kick this one off the stage. Hopefully. Yep.
Can you hear me?
Cool. Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Okay.
I'm going to switch with Paul. There we go.
I can't hear you.
Yeah. Well, I switched with you, Paul, because on your side was like all the scan code for my buy me a coffee and everything, so I didn't want to cover your face. Oh, here, this was.
No problem.
Yeah. See,
I get abused all the time.
You can actually switch people around. Like I could put you up top, Cass. I could put me up top.
There was a major influencer who I donated some money, fair amount of money to, and
Okay.
then I noticed every time I was in this person's live, he never answer a question. They would never answer a question of that I posted. I got totally ignored. And finally, I said, "Why am I donating money to this person?"
Do I need to ask who it was you donated money to?
No, I'm not gonna review it.
No, I have a feeling because there's, but I don't think he does it intentionally. Like I know.
This was intentional. I think it was.
Oh, okay.
We may not be thinking the same person. Because
Okay.
I've hired 3 different consultants off the web. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I consulted with the infamous or famous, whichever way you want to put it, Bart K, which did me a world of good at the time. Back then it was $200. Now he's at $350. But he was more than kind and very generous. I can that Richard Smith from England. He's a nutritionist. That was beneficial at the time. And also I consulted with Coach Stephen from England. And that was very beneficial.
Okay.
And And the last two are not that expensive, and maybe they've increased their rates. This was a while back that I consulted with them, but we'll see.
Okay, so and Cass, we'd love to have you on. At least I did. I can't speak for Paul, but I think you were a delight, and I hope that you are wanting to come on again, at some point.
You know why I listen to all these interviews?
Yeah.
You know why I listen? You never know when you're going to learn something.
Yeah. I mean, if I can't do interviews, I'm going to probably still do lives on Wednesdays. So the times that they don't have the interviews in there, I will probably do like panel guests like we're doing right now. So, don't be afraid. I'm looking at, I don't know if I mentioned or not, but I got a new member that just joined, Dave on the record. Just joined as a member. So thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. So let me just go back to this. All right. A lot of pushing buttons, So I just wanted to make sure that you knew that I did see you and I'm acknowledging you. So welcome. All right. So anybody else that wants to come on and say hello to me and Paul, feel free to do so. So you're gonna laugh at this. So I won the Carnivore Crisps from Bob, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and this is for everybody to hear in the chats. It's just Paul relates because Paul is always on Carnivore Talk. Okay. So I gave Bob my address that I live at. Okay. So I'm assuming that he, so he said they come to me, but they don't come to me. I get a phone call, okay, from the rehab I was at 2 years ago, and it was sent to them. I know. Like, they're calling me up, I answer the phone, right? And they're like, "Yeah, this is Complete Care in Wool Township." Excuse me. Sorry. Like, this is the Complete Care in Wool Township. And I'm like, "Okay, like, you got a package here that was just delivered from Carnivore Crisp?" And I'm like, so I went there and I got it. So I got my Carnivore Crisps, the whole box right here. And, because it was a gift card. So I was able to get the gift card and got what I chose and everything like that. But I just found it so funny that they delivered to a place that I don't think I gave. Like, I know that when Bob got the address, I gave him my address, which is a whole different address. And somehow, I guess the record had it down for that one.
Sometimes on your autofill information, things get confused.
Yeah.
And I've had that happen to me on a couple when I moved last time.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, it's just funny.
I
mean, I got them, so no harm, no foul, but it's just.
Well, you had more chances of winning that day than you thought you had.
Oh, really?
Because when we were sitting there and he was spinning that wheel, I says, if I win, it goes.
Oh, really? Thank you. I appreciate that. Paul's frozen.
Just that's what I had to do. If I had the biggest part of the pie, and I kind of planned it that way. And,
you kind of broke up a little bit there, Paul.
signal comes and goes sometimes.
Yeah. That's fine. So we got Steadfast here, Sharon. Very weird, but glad they knew how to reach you. Yes. It helps to be in rehab for several times. So they definitely knew who I was. Okay. Oh, just lost Paul too. So, all right. Well, Paul probably will come back, but if not, that's fine. We've been on for trying to look at we've been on for an hour and 30 minutes, guys. So that's fine. Here, Paul's trying to come back. All right.
Yay.
There you go. We'll switch places. All right, cool.
Those things happen, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. So what were you saying about how I had a better chance of winning?
Well, I was just, if I had won, you were going to get it.
Oh, well, that's good. That's nice.
Yeah,
Thank
I just, because I went to a conference about 2 or 3 years ago in Baltimore. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's a workout fitness guy.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a fitness coach too. And it was like keto, carnivore, and fitness. And his mother was there, okay? And he's a shorter guy with shaved head and all into keto and fitness and all that. And I had lunch with his mother, and she was 75. And she'd been keto for like 12 years and on this exercise training program. And she gave a demo of what she could do. And she was standing on the floor, and she jumped vertically up onto a 20-inch plywood.
Okay.
Okay, and did a few other things, and it was, but they had those things that you won, those keto treats, bars, whatever they are.
Yeah.
They had those there in dishes all around the tables. You could snack on them anytime you wanted to, and some of them I liked, and some of them I just like,
Right, like what's
wasn't real
this?
impressed
Right.
with, but yeah, yeah, kind of like that, and I admit it. There's a guy on the internet called, his name is Dave Dikeman, Dikeman.
Okay.
And he's got a son who was a type 1 diabetic, and they followed the Richard Bernstein book to the letter, and he's got quite a fascinating mind and story, and he has these, he calls them recovery shakes for hard physical conditioning. That his son's an athlete, and as well as going to college, and it's very interesting, and it's basically a heavy cream, and I'm not sure what else is in it, but just
well, so we're blessed right now with a special guest. Sandy is here. Hey, Sandy.
Hi, Thomas.
Hi. It's finally great to meet you, my carnivore mom.
Hi, Sandy. Yeah,
Going on.
hey, get to connect.
So what?
Cool.
So you're not in your nightgown and with no teeth in.
I'm in my nightgown. I put. Hi, Paul.
Hi. So nice to see you and put a face to the name.
This is a treat.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was scared. I'm like, I'm gonna try it. It's not hard.
No, it's not. It's not. Is this the first time you've been on a panel?
I've never been on
Yeah,
anywhere.
so
You're the first.
thank you. I am
All
so
right.
honored, you know.
Well,
Yeah.
you know I love you. You know you're my son.
I know. And well, you have so many children. Me, Tanya, you know,
Lisa's
Lisa.
my yeah.
Yeah, Carnivore Whisper. Yeah.
I love my carnivore family.
Yeah. So how are you doing?
Oh, I'm good, honey. I just wanted to come on so I could see you guys or you guys could see me. I'll probably go.
Okay. That's not a problem. I mean,
Oh,
even 5 seconds
yeah.
of you being on here is worth $1 million. So, you know. So this is wonderful, Sandy. I appreciate it. I really do.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna go back and okay, I'm gonna go back and go in the
Go and
stream.
tease
Love you
people in the
guys.
chats, right?
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Bye.
Sandy. Yeah, keep
Thank you
them in
very much.
line,
It's a
okay?
pleasure to meet you.
Thank you,
All right.
Paul. Same here.
You're welcome. I always say hi to you on the chat.
Oh, I know. I've been watching you.
Everybody knows Sandy. Everybody knows Sandy.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
I'll remove you.
I'm gonna go back and get in the chat. Love you
All
guys.
right.
Thank you.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
Thank you for coming on. I hope to see you more of you. Okay.
Yeah, let's do this again.
All right.
Well, I think after the first time it'll be easier, Thomas. So.
Yeah.
It gets easy. I mean, there are people that have a hard time, you know. I mean, you know, not everybody, you know, it's a comfort level, you know, it's a psychiatric comfort level, you know.
Yeah.
And but yeah, you're right. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Definitely.
Yeah, I broke the ice and did it the first time, so I'll be okay now.
Yeah. You kind of learn. You do get better at it. At least
Well,
that's what I've been told.
I couldn't get any better than I am now.
Right.
Well, your better days might be ahead of you yet, girl. Don't just. I'm looking forward to my next 20 years to being the best 20 I have on this planet. I'll tell you right now.
Yes, yeah. You're doing great, Paul.
I'm getting there.
And what a beautiful family you have. You know, you're
thank
so
you.
proud of your family, and
they you know, oh God.
You're a blessed man.
I will. Yeah, I am. I truly am, and you know, I can't tell you how many buttons I popped off of how many vests when my daughter was growing up, and she was a dancer from age 2 to age 22. She danced a lot, and my daughter, for a show choir at college, this was her job. She choreographed all their movements and dance moves, and they did a lot of Temptation songs. And I wish I had videos of that stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Okay.
she was.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get back in the chat.
No problem.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Bye.
Bye.
And I'm just going to kick her out of the studio so she can go back into the chats. So that was an honor. That was a surprise.
Yeah.
And you got to be here to see it. So that's pretty cool. So, so now Sandy did something. So now Tanya has to come on, because how can I not have Tanya on? I need my whole family. I need to meet my whole family.
Yeah, let's get the whole family on here.
Yeah. So
we could, you and I could be brothers. You know that, don't you?
We could be, or you could be my uncle. You're a little bit older than I am.
Well, I could, but I don't know.
But brothers are good too. I mean, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you, Paul?
I'll be 70 this year.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be 54 in September, so I'm 53 years old.
From top to bottom in my family, my siblings, there was 22 years from the oldest to the youngest.
How many
Um,
kids in your
6.
family?
6.
Oh, okay.
And my brother, who was 9 years older than me, when I was 7, saved my life. Literally saved my life.
Yeah.
And
It's you got a lot of good stories, Paul.
oh, I got stories, and I can, I have written the oral history of my father,
Okay.
and he went through World War II. He went through South America, across the Atlantic Ocean. He was Army Air Corps, and he bombed Germany 8 times at the end of the war. And before he finally got shot down. And I am a miracle. My dad survived World War II.
Wow.
And then he crashed. They crashed about a half mile off the coast off the White Cliffs of Dover of England. That's where they crashed. Him and the
Yeah.
navigator, and so my dad had so many war stories. They were humorous war stories. They were about the lighter side of war,
Right. Like the
alligator and turtle catching.
right.
And,
Like the comic relief, basically.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And
Well, I mean,
no.
well, yeah, I mean, why do I have this strange feeling, and I don't know if anybody's going to agree with this, that when you are on my channel to be interviewed, this is just the surface. There's so much more to you than meets the eye, And I mean,
You
I'm
want to
just
know
going
why
to
it
kind of like,
is?
I'm just going to be like, okay, Paul, you have the mic. Here you go.
You want to know why? You want to know why it's going to be so great? I'll tell you why it's going to be so great. I believe you. I know I am, but I believe you are. You're a good man, okay?
Thank you.
And that is a Salvatierra tradition that goes back to the 1300s, okay? To my 14th great grandfather.
Mm.
Okay? I am 4% Egyptian. Despite my name, which I proudly display, I don't hide it.
Yeah,
I have 0 Italian in me. 0. I'm German, Swiss on my father's side. Okay? I have no Italian blood in me.
which is weird because
Yeah, I know.
Your name does scream Italian in the name. Yeah.
Salvatierra, salvation, save, terra, earth, save the land, save the earth, was the battle cry. Fighting off the invading mongrels coming into Europe.
Wow.
In the late 1300s, early 1400s. Okay. My 11th great grandfather settled in what is now used to be Austria, but now it's present day Tione, Italy, where my grandfather rejoined his family. He'd been away for 3 generations. And he walked into the village with a friend and probably a cousin of some type, and his new Egyptian bride, who was a teenager. Okay. And so they lived like modern day hippies in a commune. It was a communal society, about 200 people, and they shared everything. And it's just an amazing, and that's where the modern day violin comes from. My grandfather's winter hobby was making violins.
Wow.
Yeah, just crazy stuff, And in Syracuse, New York, there's actually a club called the Tyrol Club. And it's people from the Tyrol region of Italy, Austria, and Switzerland. And but once a year, we all get on Zoom as many of us as we can muster, and we have a toast to the Salvatore men. And my grandfather came to this country, he had 10 kids, and raised them all American. And
Yeah.
I had so many cousins, I didn't even know all of them.
Oh, of course not. Yeah, I have a lot of cousins. I had no idea who. I mean, I probably knew them. It's just we were so young that I just don't remember them. You know.
Well, I knew some of these people, but I didn't know they were my cousins, okay?
Right.
Because they lived 10 miles away instead of living 1 mile away. So they lived so far away, I didn't think they were. I was 22 years old. I had a female cousin who died. She was 23. And when they asked me if I was going to the funeral, I said, I don't think so. They go, it's your cousin. What the hell's the matter with you? I go, oh, how is she my cousin? That's your dad's sister? Is her mother? I go, oh, I didn't know.
Like, really?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, stupid me, And I can't tell you how many times I sat at my grandmother's kitchen table and one of my aunts would go through the family genealogy with me, and I never wrote it down, and I didn't, I always associated that aunt with my grandmother's side of the family, some of my grandfather's side of the family, and everybody came over from Europe, and they all settled in the same area, and you didn't know who was related. You didn't know who was who.
Right.
I didn't, and maybe I didn't pay close enough attention. Maybe I screwed up. I don't know. But,
yeah, I mean, you can't second guess yourself on,
but what are you going to do? And there's things that my parents never, like my mother never told me. My mother never told me she was one of 9 girls. And by the time I was born, on my mother's side, her mom and dad were dead when I was born. So I didn't know them. I only knew a couple of my mother's sisters. And then at the funeral, I read the obituary, and she's got 8 sisters. They never talked about their personal life. They were too focused on us as kids and what we were going to become, And we'll save that story from when I got the full 2 hours on.
Yeah.
Tell you about my relationship with diabetes and my mother.
Paul, I'm not worried about you not having something to talk about. I know you are, yeah, and just just saw the comment from John. He says, Sandy, I wish I could be on lives for medical reasons. I cannot. Perhaps one day at a time. Not Paul. John, I'd love to hear your story. Like I've said to you before, I know it's a matter of time. Time will happen. You have an open invitation for us to do and sign you up to do an interview. So don't worry about it. Okay?
Which John is this?
What was that?
Which John are you talking about?
John Together Strong.
Yes, I like John. I always try to make it a point to say hi to John on the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any other John today.
Yeah. I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah.
I really want to hear his story, and I want to know more about him. And
yeah. I mean, he's pretty inspiring. Like the couple songs I heard a few of his songs, but there was one that mentioned me in it, so I'm very honored that he did that. It had other people in it too, but Target Prime Rib was mentioned briefly in that, and so I'm very honored. I mean, I've had a few songs about me put in. Barbara made a song for me, and so did Amy Davis. Made a song, and she actually created a superhero in my name.
Yeah.
I was actually the 3rd Avenger.
I'm on Amy's channel on the 22nd of March.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
All
I'd be
right. I'm not sure when I'm on. I'm going to be on her channel too. Let me look at my calendar. Actually, now that you just mentioned that. Yeah, I'm going to be on the 29th
here a week after me.
of March, but
Yeah.
for me, it's a cooking segment.
Oh, what you cooking?
I'm not going to reveal that. I could probably tell you that it's going to be, I think, burger related. Like we're doing two different meals. So I have to double check with her, but that probably as far as I can say. So it's going to be something that has to do with ground meat. So no one
Cool.
worry. I'm not making heart attack chicken. So
I was going to try to secretly track down your address and I was going to send you a full face shield. It goes on the safety helmet. You just pull the shield down, like a welder's helmet. Yeah, the full clear. And I said he'll get a blast out of that. And
I would. And can you imagine me, like, especially if I went on Amy's channel, like, okay, I'm ready now.
yeah,
Amy would definitely get a kick out of that.
Yeah, and that's who I should have contacted to get. I didn't know where to ship it, and I thought, oh, okay, well, someday, and
Well, I'd
I've
say
got
Bob should know, but if he's sending it to an old address that I was at for a few months, I don't know. I'm sure it wasn't Bob's fault. I'm sure something happened in the mix.
Oh, you think things happen, it's
Well, I know it was the carnivore crisp because I never had carnivore crisp when I was in rehab, So, I mean, I did win carnivore crisp twice. Bob's not the first one I won it from. I actually won it on with Bella.
Oh, okay.
As well. Yeah. So, Tim Silva is asking what keeps you going. I don't know if he's asking me that question or you, but I want to actually still throw it over to you. So, what keeps you going, Paul?
Well,
what motivates you?
I'll kind of give a 3-part answer. First part of my answer is this. I think carnivore people are a different breed. We got a grit and determination other people either don't have or haven't found yet. Okay? I think we're a special class of people. I'm one of those kind of people. I came from a high school. We had a championship wrestling team, and I was about being number one, okay? And I'm not going to fail at carnivore. Side note, I had a rough life, okay? I had 3 kids that had to raise on my own pretty much. And I had to get one of them through cancer. And, I had a lot of employment struggles. And took everything I had to get those kids off into life and they've all done well. I'm very proud of all 3 of my children. And I'm extremely proud of my grandchildren. And I know it doesn't show. And I know I'm very calm, cool, and collected about that. And I got some land for sale in Florida. But anyhow, my main focus is that I'm healthy enough and have financially stable enough that I can travel to whatever meaningful events occur in my family. I'm 70. My oldest grandchild is 11. The youngest one is 4. So fast forward 20 years. My grandson's going to be 31 years old. He could be married or be getting married. And my granddaughters, the youngest granddaughter, she'll be 24. She could be getting married, and I want to be there. And I've got one secret thing, not secret, but one thing I've not shared publicly yet. I guess this will be a first on your show. I'll announce this. In the next year, I'm going to be moving. I'm going to move into some rural Appalachian town where things are cheap as far as real estate goes. Buy a house that probably needs some fixing up and fix it up. And that's where I'll live out the rest of my life. And hopefully I'll be able to travel from there to wherever I need to go,
Right.
and however I have to get there. And I'd like to. There's some funerals I'd like to live long enough to go to certain funerals. I won't mention names, but you know,
Right.
and but that's kind of my. And when I get down in the dumps, I saved it on my computer, your phone, whatever you want to call it. I go to Sarah Hallberg. A little 26-minute talk she gives. I think it was a TED talk.
Yeah.
And I just play that a couple times. And I cry halfway through it. And yeah, I'm a very emotional person. And you know, my grandson wins world title, I'll cry.
Of course.
I mean, it's just who I am, you know. And
So, I mean, that brings on a question. How, you're saying about your son going through the things he went through, and being in the marathon and everything like that, and your daughter and everything like that. How do they feel about you being on carnivore? What's their opinion on it?
oh,
Or do they
it was.
think that you're crazy, or?
I almost lost part of my family.
Oh, really?
It was a family gathering, and that anyhow, I was very concerned about my son becoming one of my sons becoming diabetic,
Right.
and he had some real health issues, and so I went out and I bought a blood sugar meter and a series of books about carnivore books, and made up a package for him and his spouse, and shipped it to him. And I called him and said, "Look, you're going to get a package." And I says, "Just forgive me if you're upset that I sent it to you, okay?"
Oh.
I said, "You do with it what you want. It's up to you, But I just felt you needed I'll tell you one quick little story. When my son was diagnosed with cancer, him and I had a little sit-down meeting, him and me. And I says, we were deciding how we were going to handle things. And he says, "Dad, I want to know as soon as it's known, I want to know it. If doctor tells you I'm going to die tomorrow, I want to know 1 minute later I'm going to die tomorrow." I said, "I'll never withhold anything from you. Swear to God." And I got a phone call one time from the doctor's office. They said, "You need to bring your son back. We need to double check something." I go, "What?" He goes, "We saw a spot on his lung." And we 4 people have looked at it. Now we're going to look at it again with 2 more people. They got to come back. Arrange it. And the doctor was very polite. He arranged it from the time I called to the time they saw us was less than 48 hours. So there wasn't a lot of sleepless nights. And you want to know what my son has? He has dense nipples. It was a shadow from his nipple.
Wow.
Showed up on his lung. And this 80-year-old some doctor walks out of the room. Blah, 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 blah. I ran over, grabbed him, and I turned him around. I said, "I didn't understand what you said." He says, "Your son's got dense nipples. He's got nipple shadow." I go, "Oh, okay." And so anyhow, that's and I, as you get older, this is you think what you're gonna think, what you're gonna feel like when you're 70, but you don't know until you get there.
How would you know that?
I don't know. You just I and I don't fear death, but I don't welcome it either. Okay, and I want to be around for a while, and if nothing else, I want my grandchildren to be able to look and say, "Look what Grandpa did," and I want them to think in their minds in the future. I want them to think, "What would Grandpa do?" When they're faced with a decision, what would Grandpa do? That's why I've written out a lot of my history of my father, my grandfather. situations that it's somewhat fictional because I put them in a situation and they have to make a decision.
Right.
And there's a story to it, okay? And it's basically true, but it's I've embellished it a bit. And that comes from my son who had the cancer. I met a parents of a mother of a child who my son had talked to in school, and he says, your son just totally transformed my son. I go, well, what happened? She goes, well, all I hear now is, what would Justin do? That's my son's name, Justin. What would Justin do? And he went from a B student to an A+ student, almost
Wow.
overnight. And what this kid's gone on and done, I don't know, but that was his whole philosophy of life. What would Justin do? He thought Justin was perfect. But he so
Yeah.
and I think we're all here for a purpose,
We are.
and I do believe in fate. I believe
everything happens for a reason, even the
I
bad
lost
things.
my job in New England and wound up in North Carolina because my son was going to have cancer, and the doctors he needed were in Carolina. Just tell you how it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. It's like you were talking about the spot on the lung. My mom has a similar situation. Not similar, but just kind of similar. She actually was on a special drug program, with her cancer.
Yeah.
And I forget the name of it. It's actually a drug that's out now, but she was actually part of like an experimental with this particular drug, a drug trial. And she was getting the drug. She just pretty much had to do the protocol, and she was doing the drug, and she was doing everything she had to do, you know. And whether or not it was helping, I have no idea. But she pretty much. But what happened was this: one day, the doctor found a spot on her lung, just like you just mentioned, and instead of waiting to see what the spot was, let's get some tests, let's do. He right away tells them, the people doing the drug, he tells them right away, because if you have anything wrong, like if anything happens, like there's, like anything that goes on, and there's no, they're just gonna pull you from the program. So he tells them that she has a spot on her lung. Now it ended up that sometimes when you have the flu, sometimes your lung can get spots after having like a bad cold or flu or whatever, and that's all it was. It had nothing to do with any more cancer or anything like that. Like, it didn't travel. It was pretty much a spot from a cold, basically, you know. And if he didn't mention to them, she would have still been on that trial. Instead, she has to go off the trial, and the pills that they were going to switch with her were pretty much, they were out of pocket, and they're $200 a pill. And then the doctor like got confused, like, why don't you want me to be your doctor anymore? And I just looked at him like, because you fucked up. He goes, what do you mean? I go, why would you tell them that she has a spot in her lung and not get it checked before you actually had information? And he was just like, well, she has other doctors she can go to. She has other things she can go to. And my mom agreed. I mean, I'm just repeating things that she thought, and like, some. So when you said about the spot on the lung, it just reminded me of that instant.
It was a terrible day because we had a technician that was on drugs. A radiological technician was on drugs,
Wow.
and they told us all these horrible things, and so and they fired this technician right then and there. they called security, and just, and I had to go sit down. I just,
Yeah.
and it just, at least God gave me the strength to make all those drives from Hickory to Charlotte, and but we were very blessed, and we had some great doctors, and these guys deal with a lot of bad stuff, and they don't have very many victories, and I can remember this one girl told my son in school. There was he went back to school without a leg. He did not have an artificial leg when he went back to school. Had the amputation during the summer, and
Oh, okay. this
girl said, "I don't like looking at that." And he told her, he says, "I look at it every day." He goes, "I see it every day."
This is my life, Yeah.
You see me one period out of 7 in the whole day long, and you don't like it. Okay, fine, and it was
Yeah, it's like, don't look. Yeah, if you don't like
yeah,
it.
and he my son was always the entertainer, the jovial person, and he was always very, he'd be the first guy to settle a dispute on the playground, or whatever, and
Right.
he was just a great all American kid, and he he was, and he learned a lot from it in a bad way to learn things, but and so we'll have a chance to talk about a lot of this. You probably got to get going. I got to
Well, I
cut.
just want to read this one thing, and we could get going. That's
Go
not a
ahead.
problem. So I'm going to put it on the thing. So John to Go Strong, he's talking about George, George Goodenough, which I'm sure you know who he is. He's saying he said the video I love the most, because don't forget, John does all these videos, was George Goodenough and the Giant. George is telling us about him falling off a horse when he was a kid, and he said he was petrified of horses. So I told him, I one day, and then finishes off, am going to put you back up on the horse, George, and I did. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So yeah, no, we can end it here. That's not a problem. I had a great time today.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and and I got I got a few new members, so that's cool. I got to think of some good videos to do or some things to do. And this is a journey that I'm actually pretty glad to be on, and it's like everybody's amazing, and so live, love, heal, and for God's sakes, people, eat the meat.
I love your delivery of that. Rick, it's been a pleasure.